What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and happy new year to everyone. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't upload very much over the Christmas period. I actually just took like a big time off and just chilled out and relaxed with my family, really. Was pretty nice, pretty good. And I checked last year, we actually started the year with an Albaz deck profile, so we're actually going to start again with the same thing, but this time a little mix. We're going to show you the Slifer build. I didn't upload this when this first came out, I suppose, when the trap was first released, but I've got it for you now. I played it not long ago. It was really fun. It's actually so funny to summon Slifer. It's just hilarious to do that to your opponent. Draw in 6. It does feel kind of bad because, spoiler alert, there's no hand traps, so when you draw 6 you kind of want to draw into more interruptions. You can draw the bestials, but I don't have enough room for all of them. And obviously, since this was released, Cartesia has been released, which actually helps the deck a lot. And then also, well, the bestials were released, so plenty more. So draw in 6 and drawing into follow-up and a couple of bestials, it feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, hella fun deck, actually kind of good. Not very good against tier, but it is what it is. But yeah, without further ado, guys, let's get into it. So starting off, we obviously do have, of course, 2 Slifer the Sky Dragon. Unfortunately, I've only got 1 secret and 1. This is like the Pharaoh rare one. I didn't have 2 the same. I don't know why. But I suppose, how often do you play a Slifer deck? Yeah, so this, everyone knows what Slifer does. Gains attack, 1000 attack for every card in your hand. Obviously, if you draw 6, you've got 6, whatever you. So, and then also, it's like a mini floodgate. It's actually kind of good against Sprite, because obviously every time they special summon something, they will get their effect, but it will die straight after. So it's actually kind of weirdly good against them, but unless they bestial you, then you're a bit screwed. But it is what it is. Yeah, with 2 of those. Let me know as well, guys. Probably my favorite one is Slifer, just because he looks the coolest, but let me know what your favorite Egyptian god is down in the comment section down below. Do you like Obelisk? Do you like the chicken? Let me know who you like. Mine is definitely Slifer, so it's great that we can play in a relevant deck. Then of course we play the 3 Aluba. Do you know what? I've upgraded to the ultis recently, and I'm not sure if I like them. I actually think I prefer the secrets, especially considering the secrets say add 1 Despia spell trap, and this says branded. So I don't know if I actually prefer that. I think I prefer the secrets, but yeah, we all know what Aluba does. This is going to be like the normal summons to Alistair for Despia, isn't it? Like, it's just going to be one of those things in like 3-4 years. It's still going to be a normal summon Aluba effect sort of thing. For the rest of the Despias, I only play 1 Tragedy, because that's not the main thing you're going to be sending from Brand of Fusion now, so you only need 1. 1 Ad Liptium, because you're still going to want that to add or have to follow up or to summon Chimera with. And then 1 Dramaturge, just because he's big. And I actually think this is kind of good now. There was a period of time I wasn't playing him and I don't think he's very good, but now I think this is coming back and it's starting to be a bit better. It might be harder once the new stuff is released in the next Photon Hopenova, is it? Yeah, once that comes out, maybe there won't be room, but at the moment I think this is a good card to play. We are up in the Albaz. We are playing 3 Albaz in this one. You don't get to recur the first one you send, so you kind of need to play 3 because that one stays in the graveyard. So you need to play 3, otherwise, like, you kind of get a little bit messed up. You only have 1 to play with from then on out. So yeah, you need to play 3. For the rest of the Albaz cards, we've got Albion. So everyone knows what this does. It's just like a draw 1. Pretty good. I remember when this first was put into decks, I didn't really like it, but now I just think it's so good. And then no place for Makoria, unfortunately. I do love Makoria. I think it's such a good card. I think it's broken. I don't understand why people don't play it more, but yeah. I am playing 2 Cartesia, so this actually becomes infinitely better in this deck, just because you will send 1 Albaz and Slifer from Branded Fusion, and then this stays in there. So this is now an extender because it's more live after branded fusion, because then you can special summon it because Albaz is in your grave. Then you can fusion any Despia monster with the cards that you have in your hand or something. Will obviously be much better when this gets its own fusion in the next set. I might do an updated Slifer deck with basically just adding that card, because then obviously this will always have something to fuse with if you don't have a Despia card in your hand. But that's it for the Albaz lore cards. Monsters. We play 3 chain. Yeah, 3 chain in this one, just because if you brand a fusion and do the Slifer play, you can't really end on too much, so you want to be able to have more cards. You want to have more extension, really. So yeah, so this is a mandatory thing, I think, personally. Because I mean, if you make Brigand like you're supposed to, and you've got Albaz in grave, and you special this, and then you have this and this in your hand, then you can obviously fuse these two together and stuff like that. So yeah, like that. And then we've got 2 Magnamut and 2 Drew's Worm. Obviously, Mutt can add you even Albaz or Drew's Worm. So, but I would like to play 3 and maybe another Saranir, but then the deck would be at 44, and I don't particularly like going over 42. I think, I understand that there's more bricks in Albaz decks, so you should play more, but I just don't like it. I always feel I brick more, and yeah, I think this is the only ones that I could fit in. Then we are playing 3 opening. What can I say? If you've already got branded fusion, you can summon the Luba, and then you can just infinite. And this with tragedy or chain is just so much better. That's why I play 3 chain, just because then you're playing 4 things to discard off this, or that will plus you. That's why I've always played 3 chain and not 3 patchwork, because chain's obviously better to discard off opening. 3 branded fusion. Yeah, one more can you say is branded fusion. Do you know what I mean? The first play though, if you're going for the Slifer line, is you branded fusion, send Albaz and Slifer to summon Brigand, and then obviously you set your trap, and then you bring back Slifer with his trap in your opponent's turn. But that's why I said that's not really much. This just makes your monsters not be able to be targetable. But then I suppose it does help that then if you continue to play, they can't be impermanent and stuff because of Brigands. So that's pretty good. 1 lost, 1 red. Lost is just broken card. I want this to get an upgrade, a super or something. Maybe in an OTS, because this is just this card is just fucking broken. And then obviously 1 red, just extra. It's just to have more on your opponent's turn, because if you do manage to still make Mirror Jade and Brigand and stuff like that, then this is just more extension. You'd be able to make Chimera on your opponent's turn. It's a fusion deck, so 2 super poly. Not more you can say much more about that. It's super poly, it's busted. Only 2 because I didn't have room for any more, like I said. There's loads to fit in. 2 patchwork and 2 polymerization, just to complete their edge in package. This obviously adds you 2 poly and chain, which is busted. I actually wish I knew about this when Despia was first released, because you would have been able to end on, the board still wouldn't be great, but you would be able to end on probably Dramaturge, Queritus, and maybe a Dracostopelia, so you have another interaction. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I didn't know about it then, but I wish I did, because then maybe I wouldn't have lost as many games. For the one-off spells, we've got 1 Monster Reborn. You can add this with the Revive Skydrop, the Slifer Trap, if you've got a Divine in the graveyard. I'll explain it in a moment. Then we've got 1 Called by the Grave, broken. 1 Foolish. So this is if you open this and the trap for Slifer, you can Foolish, send Slifer, and then you don't have to. You can branded fusion and just do your normal play, send Tragedy, send Albaz, add a Luba. Do you know what I mean? You can do the normal stuff. Then you can just set your trap. So that's why Foolish is actually much better in this deck. I wouldn't normally play it, but it is very good in this deck. It helps a lot. We've got 1 Banishment, put that. Yeah, it's just super poly. It's just better than red currently. It's still really bad because obviously you have to target. They should make one now that doesn't target because of the bestials, but it is what it is. And then of course the card that makes this possible is the Revived Sky God. So if you do this on your draw phase, your opponent already has 6 cards in their hands, like assuming they didn't have any interruptions on your turn, and then you get to draw up to 6 cards. So if you only got 1 card in your hand, or if you've got no cards in your hand, then you get to draw 6 more cards, which means if you've got a Cartesia on the field, you've now got a quick effect for her to now fuse with the cards that you've got in your hand. It's absolutely busted. It is so good. Then it has a great effect in grave. You can banish and then put 1 monster reborn to the top of your deck, and then you can, if you have a divine in the graveyard, then you get to draw a card. So that's how you add monster reborn to your hand. Very good. Yeah, like what more can you say? This card is just busted. Like it's like a one-sided draw 6. It's just so good. We are playing. Obviously, this is very vital now. You have to play 2 Brigands because this is the only thing you can make with Slifer, because it requires a level 8 or higher monster, and Slifer is obviously what, a 12 I think it is. So yeah, you need to play 2 of these. That's why I wish I had room for a Macoria. I probably should fit 1 Macoria in, just because if you've got these and this goes to the graveyard anyway, it gives you something to add. But you can add or summon Fallen of Albaz as well. And this makes your monsters untargetable. So if you do Brand of Fusion, make this first, and then you like have an Albaz in hand and you like use Poly to make Lubellion, it now can't be like impermed and stuff. So yeah, pretty good. Played 2 Albion and 1 Lenatus. So this is obviously just very good. It can only add your Brand of Fusion and Poly, but yeah, this is like a good contact fusion, and these are obviously 2 of these. This is the best one to send. Shout out also to the new one. I don't know if you've seen the like white version of this that's coming out. That's basically the Ecclesia and Albaz merged together. The artwork looks outrageous. It looks so good. I just wish the card wasn't so bad. It was just terrible. It will just never get played. I don't know who will play it. I might play it like a couple just to test, but it's just not very good, is it? But yeah, those, we all know what they do. 2 Lubellion and 2 Mirror Jade to complete the Albaz fusions. Not more we can say. This is actually very good, just because it just keeps shuffling stuff back. And if you've got loads of dragons in your grave, you can just like shuffle back all of your bestials, all of your dragon fusions, all of your like Albazes and stuff like that, and then you can make Lenatus, which is pretty good. Then it'd be able to attack like however many times, 6 or whatever. Only on monsters though, but yeah, it's still good. 1 Queritus and 2 Masquerade. Not more we can say. Your opponent's got to pay the toll. Like if you can make this as well on your first turn, that is pretty good. If you can end like the trap set, 1 of these and a Mirror Jade, because obviously you can make this with the Brigand and a Despia in hand or something like that, and then yeah, pretty good. And Queritus is just like weirdly good against some decks, like things like Salamangreat. I'll always make Queritus, because they're obviously, if they're trying to kill you, they're going for the access code line. So once they finish the first effect, target Unicorn or whatever they transcode talker, sorry. You just use the effect, make it 0, and then when they pop it, you can summon Albaz and then fuse with their thing. So it's actually good, uniquely good against like stuff like that. Then for the last one off, you've got 1 Chimera, broken, 1 Garura, just for like the most generic super poly target. And then we want 1 Dragostapelia, and that's Dragostapelia is in here for like if you've got Brigand, yeah, if you've got Brigand and Chain in hand, because you just resolved the patchwork, then obviously you can poly and then fuse these together to make this, and then obviously this is engraved. You can add an Albaz and stuff like that. So yeah, that is it for the deck. So guys, that's it. I kind of sped through it. What is it? 15 minutes from not really sped through it. Try to explain as much as I possibly can. I have been playing Despia for a very long time. I wish I could have a top to go with how long I've played this, but I've not been playing Yu-Gi-Oh enough, so my interactions are just not always the greatest. I know the deck very, very well, but I don't know other people's decks very well. So I think that punishes me quite a lot when I play like big tournaments. I think the best I've done is like top like 25th or something like that. So no, like 30th, 34th or something like that. So not great at all. So yeah. But there's always this year. Obviously, this is about to get like a negate. This deck is about to get infinitely stronger. I imagine there will be a lot more busted cards coming out as well due to the lore about to be finishing. So yeah. But this is just a little fun build that I thought I would start the year with. Absolutely love Branded. It's my favourite deck by far. Albaz is my favourite monster by far. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.